Greetings and welcome once again to East Vineland NJ, USA. And last time I spoke to you, I was in a bit of a quandary. I couldn't quite decide what I could do to make this map better. And so I came up with the harebrained idea that I would do the dirty on some of the leasing guys. And so if we looked at the map, we've got a lot of fields that are ready for harvest, and I sort of came up with the idea that maybe I should lease them out and just do the harvesting on them, because I've bought a brilliant combine harvester. I've got a great big lorry which would be perfect for doing multiple contracts, but nobody will give me a harvesting contract. It's been really frustrating, but I decided that my conscience couldn't stand for it, and I'm not going to cheat and get the fields. So instead, it's back to the baling, mainly because that's all that there is available at the moment. So we're going to have to look at the contracts. And I think what I will do is I'll do the hay bales today, the silage next time, which will probably be a month on in the game, because just doing the hay bales is going to take me longer even than what I can stream for, I would imagine. So what we will do is I will have to just have a bit of a... In fact, if I can do... was it Shift and Alt and R? I'm not sure if that will work or not. I think that sends that back to the shop if I've done that correctly. So we'll soon find out when I try and hire out the equipment. So that looks like a big field with decent equipment. So what we will do is borrow the items for that one, and then we'll take on all the contracts that have got tethering bales. So all the silage ones we're not going to do today, but we'll do the tethering. And the reason for that is silage itself is a rock bottom price, and the more that goes up, the better it'll be when we do it. So we don't need to save the silage as much. The hay, we just can sell it today and not worry about the consequences of the prices too much. It's definitely the silage that you want to hang on to until the winter. So we'll let my computer finish doing whatever it was doing then for a second. Don't forget, if you're in the chat, say hello, so I know I'm not talking to myself, and it'd be really great to hear from you. I will give you a quick tour of the farm when we've accepted all these contracts, so we'll definitely do 19. So 20 is silage, 31 is silage, 44 is silage, 45 is silage, 51, we can have that one. 63 is silage, 65, we can do that one. 72, we can have that one. 79 silage, 87, we can have that one. 94, nope. 104, nope. 105, nope. 110, and 111, we can have that one. So that'll be plenty to keep us going. I think we'll that will keep us nice and busy today. So I don't know what I can say other than this is going to be a little bit of a challenge up till Christmas. But if we go through the finances, if I go the right way, that would help. So we actually could potentially buy another plot of land. That is an idea. Not because of the amount of money I've got, just because I believe that I can borrow a shed load more money. So we might just do that for the sake of being able to do it. But I should have really looked what land was available really before I did that. But certainly we're going to be looking at somewhere near the farm that we can harvest if we wanted to. But I don't know. I think actually it might not be a good idea to do so. But wrong one. So if we looked at, for example, farmland 30, even that's way too expensive. It's just incredible the prices on this map. So we just literally anything of a reasonable size, you haven't got a hope of buying. So so maybe we won't. Let's go back to the finances, and we'll just repay as much as we can. So there we go, that's back to where we were. And now we need to get on with the contracts, I suppose. So I don't know what we're going to do with you for the whole day. Would have been nice to do some harvesting, but nobody wants a hand, apparently. Where we gotta go? So we're going to need this tractor, if I can get him out of the water. Don't ask why I parked him there. I think it was just to get him out of the way. Just about squeezed between the trees. So get to where we can see where we're going, and I should use my steering wheel since I've got it plugged in. So we need to take this to the shop and go and get some of the materials that we're going to need for this particular job. We'll bring it onto that, try and get some semblance of control. I normally have the stuff delivered to my farm, but because all my machinery is out from the harvest, it's not really been a good idea. So I think this is the first time in ages that I've driven around with just a tractor. Usually there's something attached to the back of it. Slowly but surely getting used to driving on the wrong side of the road. And as we whack it round, so we'll just pop it onto that view so I can see where I'm going. For I think, what will this one be best for? This will be probably best to control the tedder. This tedder is massive and it'll be getting through some of these smaller fields in no time. So I don't know if there's been an update with Farm Sim lately or something, but I've noticed that unless when I'm in this third person view, unless I raise up or change the angle of the way the view is looking, it just doesn't attach to a trailer or anything, and I don't understand why. So we'll park you there because you're not going to do anything. You can drive back to the yard because we're going to need... Oh, no, actually, I forgot I parked you there for a reason. You'll have to come and help us out in a minute, so... nearly forgot all about this then. So we'll get the course play up and get rid of that so that you can't remember. 2 headlands we'll probably do. Generate... close that, start the job, and hopefully that will be done in no time. So no guarantees with this course play. Usually as soon as I start streaming, it gets absolutely ridiculous with the helpers. They seem to go off all over the show and do all sorts. This is actually our field. We paid for it with real money. So this is a tractor we need now. So we need to get mowing. It looks like for the time being we've got 2 tractors to fulfill all these contracts. But when that ploughing is done, we will have a 3rd tractor, and that should speed things up just a touch. I could borrow the items from another contract as well, I suppose, but need to zoom out with you. That would help me. So there's a car coming, and then we can go. So this field shouldn't take very long anyway. It's only a small field. We'll have pretty standard settings for the course play. It'll be 1 headland. We're keeping it on smooth because I find that we get less occasions where the player just the course play just randomly stops, and we'll start your job, and you can go and do that for me. So while he gets ahead, and before I get onto the tethering, I just thought I'd very quickly give you the old tour. Shall we do it on the dirt bike? Don't want the dirt bike to feel left out, do we? So zoom out so we can see a bit better. So the farm, it's not massive, but when you think that what we're looking at here, as you look at it, we have an open space of land with 2 sheds on the left. Well, more like carport and a shed. And the honey collects from the beehive that we have just over there, and that is where we keep the seed and fertilizer before we head out into the fields to fertilize them. So all this before, right where that piece of grass is, right in the middle, that was a square wooden house. But now we have this beautiful farmhouse with a garage on the side. Right behind it is a lovely little fishing pond, which I will show you in a minute. My combine harvester, which was a bit of a pointless purchase really. Nearly £500,000 spent on equipment to do harvesting, and nobody's giving me their jobs. A beautiful wooden silo which holds masses and masses of fruit. We have lots of sheeps. They are very inquisitive, coming to see us there. So I believe there's 60 in total. And I've just noticed there is a box in the top of my screen which shouldn't be there. I've got rid of it. Yeah, so we've got plenty of silage. I was actually just looking at the silage, and at the current prices, and the prices are at the lowest, we're sitting on £1 million, which is pretty impressive. Hey, Miss Wildstyle, good to see you. I'm sorry if I've missed your chat, and you've gone already, I don't know. For some reason, once again, I'm looking on my phone because it appears that my TV is not working again. I don't quite understand what the problem is today, but once again, I'm back unable to chat. So I'll continue my farm tour for you. We'll see the sheep. Obviously, this is where they're fed. Then we have this plot of land, which is sort of a Z-shaped grass field at the moment, but I have got aspirations, if I'm honest, to build a massive sort of bale storage down at the bottom here. So that bit there would just be one giant shed of some sort, which could potentially hold the silage that we sort of hoard up for the year. But the only way that's going to happen is if we can afford to buy a couple of fields that we can use for grass work as well. So we'll zoom along to we'll show you the one field, which was 2 fields, through obviously another carport. So this giant field here, which if I get off my bike, I think it's more than 3.23 acres. I think it's double that effectively. That field is. Oh, I'm in the wrong vehicle. Come back. Where's my bike? Dude, where's my bike? So that field there is ours. Oh, nearly forgot the chickens in the pond. Please stop. So this is the pond. It's handy for the water. Oh, don't go in. It's handy for the water so that we can give water to the animals. Dead easy. The chickens, which are impossible to please and are always unhappy with me. And they cost an absolute fortune. I have 500 of them in there, and if they get to any value, they will all be going. And I think I'll be putting some more greenhouses or something in their place. But at the moment, I can't sell them because they're not worth anything because they're not very happy. So we'll not worry too much about that at the moment. I'm hoping that because they've got plenty of food again, that they will cheer up for the next time round. Over here we have a little bit more grassland which belongs to us, which I have recently harvested. So basically the land starts from here and runs to the road. It's not a very big piece, but it still cost a fortune. But that is land in East Vineland NJ. It's a wonder. It's a wonder farmers are surviving at all. And then I'll tell you what I'll do if I don't get killed on the road before. I'll dump the bike and go and get that tractor, and it'll just show us the third and final field, which we have. So let's shoot over. And you're not going anywhere for some reason. What is that reason? So this is what I sometimes get with courseplay. So if I get control of you again and just edge you forward a touch, go to nearest waypoint and go. See what happens. So I think he's going. So again, not sure why it does that, but it does. And we'll leave him on his merry way, and we'll go find that tractor. So this is the final field that we own at the moment. So I don't think we've done too bad to get these fields already. And in fact, while we're here, oh, wrong button every time. While we're here, I'll just get the bits that have been missed. This is my dream tractor. Although this is the smaller version, actually. You can get a larger one, so that would have been better, but I couldn't afford, well, I couldn't afford this one, really, but it's a fast track, JCB fast track, and it is just that when it's able to. 40 mph maximum speed, which for a tractor on Farming Simulator is not very bad at all. Some of them barely do 20 mph, so. But obviously, when they're working in the fields, it brings it right down. Presumably mainly for accuracy purposes. But I imagine dragging these blades through soil is a pretty challenging exercise. So the tractors have to be strong to do this. I think everything that I own is sort of like this particular tractor can easily manage with it. So I don't think we got too much to worry about in that respect. So I need to go now back to the yard and then drop off the plough and then get the baler from the shop, I think. Oh, the the windrow will still be there actually. We might need the windrow. And then we need to catch up with all the other stuff. You can see my farm in the distance just taking shape, and it is. I just love this, driving towards it, and first you see the shed, then the farmyard, then all the carports and the vehicles that are scattered all over the show at the moment, admittedly. But I will sort them out at some point. But today, in terms of the days in the game, this is the same day as when I was doing the harvesting last episode, and you know, because we're taking on all these contracts as well, it's going to be a hectic day. It didn't take us too long to do our owned fields. I think we had 2 fields to harvest. That didn't take very long because of the good equipment that we've got. But had it been all 3 fields, it might have taken a little bit longer because one of them fields is not a bad size. So, ooh, not got the best view on really for driving. That's my excuse anyway, and I'm going to stick to it. So we want the wind. Oh wow, that is a massive windrow. Might cause issues for the baling. That one, I don't know. So, one thing they don't give you in this shop is a lot of room. So we'll park you across the road here with the grass and see if the mower is done. Because if anybody knows my baling techniques, what we will do now is, if that mower is finished but he's not, how annoying. Right, what do we do with you? I think we go without any. If we don't go with the headlands, that thing's gonna. We're gonna have to wait for the rower. How annoying. Right, so what I'll do is, because you're the last one that's going to be needed, I'll just getting the baler a bit closer. We don't need the baling wagon. We've got a much better trailer than that. So we've already had Miss Wildstyle in today. Will we have anybody else pop in and say hello? It's always the most exciting part of the stream, just see who's flicking between the channels and coming in to say hello. I know a few of the guys are quite possibly streaming again today, so I might be missing a few of the regulars. So the mower is nearly done now. So what I'll do, I think, with this one is unfold it and get it ready. Takes a while to unfold this thing, and see, the trouble is I think he'll go way faster than the mower is going because it covers twice as far with his reach. So I might just tootle slowly down to this end, spin it around, running over somebody's corn. I think the mower's just mowed some of that, by the looks of it. That'll cheer that farmer up, won't it? Well, it wasn't me driving, so they can't blame me. So now we need to lower that down and switch it on. Look at this, me actually doing some farming instead of getting somebody else to do it. It's a miracle. You won't see it very often, and there's a reason for that. Look how I can't keep it in a straight line. See, I would do a headland there just to help out with the end of the road, but I think that's going to be too challenging for a worker. Now I just got to hope I don't get nobbled by a car as I drive right up to that telegraph pole and then stop, come straight back and actually turned the right way, which is a surprise. Just about got that perfect. Whack it round. And I think we're going to have to fold it up quickly. Fold up, fold up. Just did it in time. Whew, that was close. This is the problem when you've got a vehicle ahead of you, and it's just, if it hadn't played up before, I don't think we'd have had a problem. But because it did play up, it's slowing us right down at the moment. And the next field's going to be a nightmare because it's a massive field. So we could really do with the mower getting quite far ahead, really. But because he stopped, it's left us going really slow. So don't forget, if you do pop in, do us a favour and hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so. And if you're watching this after the event, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch my stream. Probably listening to the stream whilst playing Farming Simulator. That's what most people do. And yeah, just like I say, connect with me, say hello in the comments. It'd be really great to hear from you. So we might as well just tootle down this row now. Such a pain, that lawnmower. Come on, man, go faster. Just a little bit not straight there. Try and keep myself between the lines. So I think we've got to hang on for this mower realistically, because this windrow's so big it can do this in no time, and to be honest, that mower's just in the way. So we'll get him going, and I'm almost tempted to get my own mower and go and do one of the other fields just to get ourselves ahead of the game a little bit, because this mower's been so slow that it's left us really struggling with things to do. So that means taking the fast track once again. Don't know how many times I've connected and disconnected to that already this episode, but it's quite a few. So we'll go the shortcut way. Get ourselves in. Oh, I thought I was past her. That was close. I thought I was already past the shop, but obviously not. But 40 miles an hour, probably not recommended on these little side of the fields. As we bring ourselves out to the road. Nothing that way. Nothing that way. Got to try and get between the truck and that. And we can go back to this now, because I've got to work my way around all the stuff and position myself. The only trouble is I've got absolutely no idea which bay the row is in. I think it's the second one. Yes, it is. So I need to reverse in first, just to give you all a laugh. Although it does help a little bit when you've got that cone there. Gives me something to aim for. Because I know roughly if I knock that cone with the centre of my thing, then I should be roughly in the right place. Not quite, but nearly. So we're there. Close enough to hook up, that was the main thing. I forgot I'm not an owl, so I better go back the other way. Oh, wrong pedal. You did not see that. It's a good job I'm not a professional driver in real life, isn't it? Ah. Right. So we'll bring it out. Whack it around. Go back in. And line it up. Oh. Is there a reason? Oh. It's just not telling me it wants to hook up. That was the reason. And so, let's see what field. Well, if I take you and do 47 with you, and then 51 can be the one for the other guy. Oh, look at that. I never do that. Didn't want that to happen, but hey ho. Turns out my pedal adjusts the sides of them. So 47. Let's back up so he'll go past because we know he'll stop. Now there's a white. Oh, come on. What are you doing to me, man? I'm going quick. Right. I don't want to ride across the field of corn. Crop destruction is off, and this is somebody else's field, so I don't think they'll mind too much. Or at least I hope they won't. I do try and stick to the sides as best as I can. It's just sometimes the situation dictates that I go faster. You know, I'm technically going a long way by going around this field. So I need to... Oh, if I keep going straight up, this will bring me to 47. We are shifting. I love this tractor. So, yeah, this field on our left... No, it's not that one. It's the one we've already gone past. But it is an absolute gigantic field, and I would love to have been able to get that, but I think it's something like 1.2 million for that. So we'll set up the course play to do this, because course play loves to do these fields. We'll let him do as many headlands as he likes. So 2, and don't think we need anything else on that. So generate. Start job. I didn't check whether it's first waypoint. It is, so that's okay. That's the main thing. Now we can go back to that moment. I thought he'd finished, but he hasn't. He's just finishing now. So we'll set him on his way, and then we'll. In fact, I will drive him, because if we go with that tether too quickly, then we're just going to be stuck in the same situation again. So it looks to me like he's going to try and cut nothing. So let's wrestle back control from him. We'll get rid of that so that we can drive him to field 51, which I believe is just a left turn. I started a new series. I know what the problem is here. I hit something because I forgot to fold up my tractor. I started a new series on Attigan Park, which not only can you catch the whole live stream if you're a glutton for punishment and you want to see the warts and all of it, or you can watch what I'm filtering out. There's my buddy working away in the field. At least he can do it properly in the fast track. Look at this now. It's my right of way and they just zoom across. Where's 51? So we're going to have to swing a right sooner or later. So I think by the side of the next field, looks like a run through the bushes, so we might have to be slightly on the field if there's not a path. There is a path, we're okay. Yeah, so I think this lot of bailing will put us in financial, on a safe financial footing. But yeah, I've got to filter out the Attington series in shorter periods where we'll just section it off so that you're not watching 2 hours worth at any one time. And really we can see what is a small English farm becoming big, hopefully not too quickly, because it has already grown quite substantially with leasing fields, but it was certainly a bit of a slog the first harvesting session. That went out yesterday as a live stream, but it'll be a few days before you see that appearing as the shorter ones, because like I say, I'm going to bring out the first live stream over the course of 3 days, just so that there's regular content coming out, and so that way we can build up a backlog of videos that people can watch. So we want that to be first waypoint. I like to do 2 headways when it's not a perfectly square field, just to try and keep them away from trees and houses as best as possible when they're turning around, and especially when they're near the road, which this one obviously isn't. But and let's see, make sure he's actually going to do the work, and then we can get back to doing some actual farming ourselves instead of just currying actual idiots, or AI workers as they're also known. So let's drop that down, get it tethering away, and just a nice gentle straight line. Another telegraph pole to wrap ourselves into. Just need to come back this way a touch because that bit there goes in a bit. You haven't got to be overly accurate with this particular job, as long as you pretty much get all the grass tethered, and then it won't affect the baling at all. So what we'll do is we'll quickly run the windrow around as well with this same tractor. I hope it's powerful enough to deal with all this. We've ended up with the smallest tractor doing all the jobs ourselves. I think this next run will be the final one, as we whack it around. Just pick it up for the moment and lower it down, and we just got to try and keep central to this really, and that should be that. Just got to get it right at the end because it's approximately the width of the instrument at the far end. We'll let this fold up and we'll put it here because this is ready to head to the next field. While that's folding up, just want to check that one's still going, that one's still going. So, oh, the folding up stopped. No, go that way. When that's folded up, it stopped folding. Come on. So now we need the windrow. So I didn't plan it to be this way, that we would be doing 2 instruments working together on the same job, and one poor guy, being me, doing 3 jobs for the price of 1. So, oh, you didn't see that. It was not me. I hired a worker just for that split second. And look at the mess he made. Whoa! Oh, only just got across before that van. So I think that we'll end up with, after doing these hay bales, at least 200,000 in the bank. And just before I start windrowing, I meant to show you this. I showed you the finances and where we were with them. But what I didn't show you was this. And this is the sort of like the stock check of everything that we've got. And if you look at the amount of the value of the stock that we have at the moment, we are loaded, absolutely loaded. So, um, so we're not gonna struggle. I mean, what there's 500,000 there at least, and by the time we've sorted out the silage, from because we've got over 1,000,000 litres of silage. When that goes up to its top price, because it's not far off the bottom price at the moment, but in a few months we could be looking at around about that sort of price, which is nearly £100 dearer. So that's what we want it to get to, really. But you're just looking at those amounts there, and sort of like there's 400,000 at least anyway, which means that we're in a good position. If things were getting desperate, we haven't got to worry. But I'm trying to hold everything back till December, just so that we can actually. I've just had a thought with this. I was going to do it myself, but that would be silly. When if the cosplay does it, then we can get the baling done as well with that. So if we just get control of that, make it forget whatever it's remembering. No course. I'm going to do two headlands, which is probably most of it, to be honest. But just because of those telegraph poles, and see whether that makes it nice and easy for the windrower to do its thing. So, just looking at that now, and it might be trying to go to another field. No, we're all, oh, what are you doing? Just watching what it does, just to make sure. I think it's starting at the centre. I think that's the only mistake with it, but I don't think that matters too much. But what I do concern myself with is sometimes it runs off and tries to do a completely different field, and that is not something that we want. So now he's beginning to unfold. It looks like everything's going to be hunky-dory with him. So we can go and check on the mowers. So he's making good headway there. I think this is the one that's on field 47. So doing a good job. That is something that we need. We'll get rid of that menu for a minute. So, and where are we with you? So you're moving, which is always a good sign. You've done your headlands and you're just on your second run down. Now I don't know why this one's doing this. I wonder if the working width is wrong on it, maybe. So if I bring back up the menu I just got rid of, and look at that. It is, isn't it? It's not set right. So I need to stop that, really, and we'll start again, but with you doing double the amount of work. So temporary course. I don't know what the what is the width of this. How do we find that out? Let's go with, if I went onto the shop and looked at the mower, that would be the way to find it out, I think. Mowers is down. Are you going to work? Or just leave me struggling? Mowers. Boy, you're going slow tonight. I don't want to buy one. Come on. What are you trying to do to me? Right. So, I think it's that one. And that is 10 meters. So that's what the problem is with this. So we need to extend this width. Let's do it in here. It's a much bigger thing to aim at. That was why it was struggling so much and taking so long. It's only taken me 2 fields to work it out. So 10 meters. Generate the course. That looks much better. There's much less to-in and fro-in on that. So he will start again and he will go over some of the stuff that he's already done. I could have done nearest waypoint, but he'll get done a lot quicker now. We don't need to worry anymore. The windrow is done already. So now you can go and park up and we'll get the baler onto the back. So with this guy doing all 3 while the mowing gets done, it's going to seem a lot slower, but once we get a second tractor, as the mowers have done all the fields, and the second tractor comes to help him out, it'll soon start speeding up a lot more. But the slowest job of all is, of course, the job that we're about to move on to, the baling. But it is a little bit more palatable now that I don't have to do all the baling myself. It took me a long while to get my head around the course play for baling, but we managed it in the end. I know I'm a bit slow on the uptake, but we got there in the end, and now, as a rule, it's easily done. I just need to remember, we said 2 headlands. Oh, what I didn't check was what the working width was. I think I'll have to do it through the thing again. Have you just crashed into me? What are you doing, you clown? Tell you what, Farm Sim Road Rage is twice as bad as actual road rage. I think this tractor struggles a little bit with this, but so if we go wrong menu, and we need to go down again. Windrowers. And we've got a nice big... It's not that one, it's the bigger one. That's the one. What's the length of that one? 15 meters. Wow. So I don't think we need... So what we need to do... Oh, come on, Stevie. Get your head on the game. So, no course, we need to change. Field position 19. And this a whacking 15 meter work width. This could take a while. Bear with me. I'm sure there's a way. Could you just enter it in? Nope. That would have been handy, wouldn't it? Could you press... Nope, can't do that either. That didn't work. So, press 1.5. Nope. Oh, they're really going to make me click all the way to 15. So, 15, 2 headlands, generate course. open and close. We're not going to start it yet because I want to see that it's definitely, and it looks like it is. I just think that crossover might be wrong, but no. Oh, it might miss that bit. So let's try it again from here. First waypoint, no course. Let's start with the headland and see what that does. Open course. Nope, that's not it. So we need to forget that one. Start with the center. Generate that. And we'll have to just go with it for now. I think that one's the best one of the two. So start at the first waypoint. Off you go. Bob's your uncle. Why are all them cars stopping? Oh, they've gone now. I think one of the cars had just stopped to observe the tractor doing his tractoring. So while we're waiting for them, we'll come and block the road a bit with our wagon. So there I am, driving the wagon with my keyboard again when I've got a wheel right next to me. Oh, I'll tell you what we can't do, and that is look through the windscreen of this big chappy, because you can't see nothing when you're driving this thing. Not that I can see anything anyway with the blooming trees, but hey ho. So we'll park him up on the side of the road here. He will be ready to collect these bales when they're done. I mean, technically we could use a low loader to chuck the windrower and that on, but I'm not going to do that at the moment. Simply because I know that we'll catch up when we've got the one of the mowers back helping up. It'll soon catch back up. But at the moment, we'll just let the mowing get well ahead of the game, and that will be the best way forward, I think. So is there anything else that we can be doing while we're waiting for these fields to be mowed? We could go and check on the chickens, I suppose. I can't remember if I fed them in terms of on the game earlier in the day. I might have done. So let's have a look what food. Yeah, I don't think it takes much in terms of food, and then it's full. So if we just add a bit of wheat now, that ought to keep them going. There we go. So that ought to keep them going for the rest of the day, with 500 of them in there. And we've already checked on the sheep, I think, haven't we? So yeah, I will go and dump this back in the silo, because I don't think we're going to need wheat tomorrow. We might need cracked corn, which is actually the staple food for the chickens apparently on this map. Just want to thank everybody who comes along and watches any of my streams, even if it's only in for a few minutes, or if you're hardcore and stay for the whole thing. I do really appreciate it, and I'm very thankful. And for those who watch afterwards too, I do really appreciate you coming in, just having a a little look at the stuff that I put out there. And I would appreciate too if you were able to hit the like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed, because that just really helps me to build what is a very new channel. And it's going to take me a while to build it up, but I do appreciate those who have made the effort so far. So this tractor is really struggling, isn't it? I think we've probably got the worst tractor on the baler at the moment. We might have to do a swap over at the next junction. Get the fast track on the baling. And the trouble is, this windrower leaves a massive swath as well. So but if nobody's seen me do this strategy before, I have a hack of the day which explains it much quicker. But it's basically, we've got the equipment borrowed from one contract. Sometimes you could, if you had no equipment, you could do this. But if you borrowed the equipment from several, then you can have several vehicles just working along at the same time. And it's much quicker than just doing a field at a time in terms of the contracts. Speed swings up, and it just saves a lot of hassle. You end up probably managing more than farming. In truth, you're going around checking all the different vehicles. When they're finished, you got to move them to the next field and stuff like that. But yeah, it does have its little bits of flaw as well. It's not as good at making it absolutely accurate. Although, in fairness, I have to say, when I drive a baler around with the swaths as big as what they are with that particular windrow, it is very hard to get both sides of it. I did see a tip from somebody, I think it might have been old DJ, saying, aim to get one side for definite rather than worrying about both sides, because then at least when you have when you have done it and you've got to come back twice, you've not got to come back for a split in the swath, which means that you've then got to come back a third time if you want to collect all of the grass. So what he was saying, just take this as an example. We'll do this twice just because we're showing you something. Instead of aiming to get right across the middle, I'm just making sure that I've got most of it there. So I've only got to come back one time to collect that little piece, and it's a piece of cake then. So rather than trying to get it all and leaving two trails of missed stuff, you're actually only leaving one. So there's a nice little tip for you. Could even end up being one of my hacks of the day. It's nothing great, but it is something that just saves a bit of time. And that's, with contracts, that's all you want to do, is save a little bit of time. Because they are lengthy and they're not your farm. And realistically, what you want to be doing is progressing your farm, not somebody else's. But sometimes we need the money from the contracts to make that happen. And I think actually, if we can get up to about the £1 million mark by December, I don't intend to buy anything until then. But I think that we could potentially sort of like stock up on 2 or 3 fields, get some good harvests put in. And the only thing I've got to buy is I've got to seed the 3 fields that we've got with wheat. And I think I have to do them in October. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's October. But yeah, so I'm hoping by January time we'll be able to buy at least 2 or 3 fields, and possibly buy 2 or 3 fields and put them into a put them into a bigger field, you know, two together sort of thing, like I've already done with the field, well, the two fields next door to me. Right, so I'm going to nail over here with the baler, which is pretty pointless really, because the baler's not really needed over there. And then I'll put the rower, the mower. Sorry about that. The mower onto here, and just send the JCB back for the tedder. No, let's get this right. Oh yeah, no. So the fast track is going to be doing the baling, so the fast track will need the tedder and the windrow as well. Yeah, I know what I'm doing, even if it doesn't look like it. Where am I driving to here? He's not there. He's in the far corner there. So what have we got there? So that drops the back. That drops the front. And what we'll do with you is send you to field 37, because that's where the windrow is. And off you go. And we need to get you going to another field, because that other one's missed loads on that field by the looks of it. Can't all be as good as a fast track, I suppose, but you can tell he's my favourite tractor. He doesn't get any of the stick that the other ones, even if it is still the idiot driving it. And no, that's not me. Oh, I forgot. We need to adjust the head height, and then it'll connect. I've no idea why it's doing that. But so 51 and 47 are mode. So if 51 does 85, this one does 111. Is it 85 or 65? It's 65. There we go, 65. I can see it better now. So if this one goes to 111, as long as he gets there, it doesn't matter. You're in position. You just need to... Oh, I've got to unfold. Then lower down. Are you going to lower? Why are they doing opposites? Right, lower down. Turn on. And let's just quickly get these rather large bits that have been missed. Which sadly means spinning around. Oh my word, look at this. Absolutely shocking. It's obviously not 10 metres. I'm going to have to sort of guess it, aren't I? Just so it does it quicker. Oh, this is so frustrating, this. Well, it's not switched. So that one's on. And that one's not. Oh, press the right button. For goodness sake. Right. So I've screwed this one right up. So it's not 10 metres. So I reckon we do 9 metres, and that'll probably be enough. It's only just missed out, hasn't it? So if we did it at 9 metres, at least it will be doing everything and not, you know, missing out slightly on what it would be doing normally, but I don't know. I don't know why it's not got it all, but it's left me with work to do that I didn't want to do. So, it's just going to keep switching off the mowers. Slowing it, and it's the same mower that's done it. It's slowing us down every time. Jeepers creepers, man. Right, so, has it got it all on? No. Oh, for goodness sake. I can't do two with that because it's too far apart, so that's annoying. I might as well have just mowed this field myself. AI workers, you gotta love them. Come on. There is no limit to your inability. So, I'll tell you what, if I was the farmer who gave out this contract, I'd be questioning the guy who was running the show and saying, is he really capable of doing these contracts? I don't think so. I mean, some of the sizes of the gaps that he misses, unreal. There we go, so that's all that. Literally might as well have mowed this field myself. But mowing's quite therapeutic. It's not too bad a job to do. It's just when you've got about 10 fields to do, you don't need to be doing something that the worker's supposed to have already done. That's just the frustration of it, really. But I've just got to think about it at the end of it, when I've finished the mowing, which, you know, it's not going to be today that we finish all these contracts. We just don't have the time. But when we do finish these contracts, it is going to put our bank balance in a very healthy position. We may even be able to buy a field or two and keep going that way, especially if there's still a harvest on it by the end of it. You know, we're just getting a bonus there, aren't we? So, but if I can sort of, I don't know, say I raised 250,000, that'd put us on about 280. And we bought a harvestable field for 220. Tomorrow we've got the silage bales to do. And having done them, we could potentially be once again around the 280, maybe even more. Just go and get that piece there that's been missed. Yeah, we could potentially buy another field with a harvest on, if the harvests haven't been done by tomorrow. I think we've got 2 chances at the harvest, and we may even get some harvest contracts as well, but I'm not holding my breath on that one because this is what it did last year. They didn't give me any. Well, I had 3 all year, and there hasn't been a single harvest contract on there yet this year. But having said that, if they do potato harvesting, they could do that one themselves. I'm not doing the potatoes again. That was horrendous last year. I must have travelled right across the map to deliver to the north shop so many times during that harvest. It was unbelievable. Right, so that is done. So they can both fold up and go to... We said 65, didn't we? So you can drive to 65. It's only across the road, but that gives me time to set this one up with his course play. Forget what you already know. On you go. We'll just do one headland. Working with 8.6. That's what we're going to set the other one to, I think. Just so that they're both working at the same width. Generate. Open that up. Have a good look. Make sure that it's done it. Start the job. Didn't check its first waypoint, but it is. So at least that's something. So now we need to move on to... We'll get you connected to the tether. And you can go and get on with... well, driving to the field for the tether. I think I might actually continue to do the tethering once I've got all the mowers on the go. Because it doesn't take too long. So you need to go to 47. Wherever that is. It's over here somewhere. So get yourself over there. Has that mower reached its destination? He's just getting there now. So we'll get the course. No course set. So go back. No course set. One headland. 8.6. So we'll do it the same as the other. Perhaps I looked at the wrong one, and that was the problem. Generate. That should certainly do it. So, and start the job. Back. Just make sure he doesn't go off and do something stupid. Oh. Oh, it was on the last. Right, so he's doing something. I'm not gonna complain at that. He's mowing away happily. He can collect the bales in a minute. Where's the tedder? Where are you, tedder? Ah, just arriving. So you can start unfolding. We'll get rid of the course play menu because we're gonna do some work. So yep, so we'll start from up here. It's a very good place to start. Because I think that 2 passes, or maybe 3 actually, looking at it, that's annoying. Which means I should have started from the other end. So get you going nice and straight-ish. Check my phone, as you should do when you're driving, of course. So it's been a challenging first year and a bit on this map, but because of the price of everything, really. But we're beginning, I think, to get a settled foot in the land sort of thing. You know, we've now got 3 fields, one of which well, 2 of which we've combined into one massive field. We then have a bit of work to do in terms of getting getting the next couple of fields. But if we can get them close to each other, we can then convert them into one big field. Obviously, the bank seems to think that we're worth a bit more than we were. They're willing to offer us an extra 250,000 roughly. So that suggests that we've increased the value of the farm. The initial debt that they would allow you to accrue, it was 500,000. So we are proving that we can handle the debt. And I mean, we could technically get ourselves out of the debt pretty quickly if we wanted to. But I want to grow as quickly as possible in terms of land. So at the moment, I'm going to suggest that we continue to invest in fields rather than any equipment or anything like that. The one thing we could do with is a seeder, but and we could probably do with more grass for ourselves. That would be probably quite handy. You know, where we actually get the full benefit of the silage rather than doing somebody else's work for them. The only benefit with that is we could realistically cash in on somebody else's silage straight away, whereas if we wanted to, of course. Whereas when we do our own, we have to wait 3 months. But I've got a mammoth task of at least 10 contracts today. We may even do the silage contracts today, but I don't know if we're going to. It would be handy to do them today because we might get another cut before the winter, before the prices are at the highest. If we get another cut in, then I think that the silage alone would be getting us probably about 700,000. You know, just what we got stored up in the farm. But then we're definitely going to need a bigger barn to keep it all, because what we've got is pretty shocking in terms of storage for silage. You can tell it's starting to crack on me now. The late nights when I stop up and do the streaming, it's usually because the wife's gone to bed and I got free use of the front room. Kids in every other room in the house, so it's the only convenient time for me to stream when the kids are off school. It's half term at the moment, so I could technically stream in the mornings because I don't know if anyone else's teenagers are like that, but my teenagers don't see the mornings. You would expect that mower to probably be done pretty much by now. So what I'll do now, I've straightened him up, I'll just stop and hop over and see how the mowers are doing. Oh, what are you doing? This one! What is wrong with him? The other one's going no problems whatsoever. I've got a burst of blood vessel with this guy. What are you doing wrapped around that tree? Absolute. He's like... You are getting on my nerves. Oh no, it's going to the first waypoint again. Oh, no. Look what you're doing to me. You absolute muppet. Right, don't do it again. That was on the headland as well. How'd you blimmin' do that? Unbelievable. Okay, so let's get back to tethering. That mower's nearly done on the bigger field than the little field. Absolute nutter. What is wrong with him? So does that need to lower as well? Nope, it was lowered. It's got me all flustered. So we just need to straighten up a bit, try and get ourselves running along that line. The only thing I'd say about the fast track, it's a bit annoying in the rear wheels when it's got four-wheel steering. It's not always as easy to get it going in a straight line. But I do prefer two-wheel steering, but other people prefer the four-wheel steering. It's just a bit of choice, really, isn't it? But I think we're making pretty good progress on this field with the tether. We'll let the windrow be done by the course play and just keep shuffling the mowers around. I think there's only a couple more fields for these mowers to do. The next one for the idiot is perfectly rectangular. Can't possibly go wrong with it, surely. Mind you, I think that one wasn't far off being perfectly rectangular, and it was also tiny. And he's going to taking longer to do that than the other one has doing a massive field. Absolute clown. That's what he is. So while that sort of goes in autopilot, I'm going to just quickly try and check on whether the chat on my stream is working. Nope, still not working, so okay. So I think everything else looks alright. It's just my chat not working on my streaming page. So I can move that across. Move that across. And I can still see everything that I need to see. I need to get back on here before I start going across another field. We just drifted off a little bit, but I'm sure it'll cope with that little stretch of grass. That was just me having to work off the computer while we had it on cruise control. But it was me doing the work. I was just working away at the same time as driving. Just to prove that I'm not a cheat. Yeah, workers on this map in particular just seem absolutely crazy bad. I don't know what they think they're worth in terms of pay, but I wouldn't be paying them. I think I'd be signed off the stress if I was the boss of these workers in real life. So it was great of Miss Wildstyle to pop in earlier on and say hello on the chat. And if anybody else is watching, I haven't got the numbers in front of me, then it would be great if you just said hello. I won't bite, I promise. We're just working away on these contracts on East Vineland, New Jersey, and it's a US map that's pretty flat, loads and loads of fields, which I thought would be a real advantage. That's the main reason I picked it, was the amount of fields that are on the map. But when I saw the prices of fields, I thought actually this is going to be a much harder challenge than I expected, and it's definitely proven so. I mean, we have done, I reckon, in excess in a year, we've probably done in excess of 70 contracts over the course of the year, just to try and keep us in a position to buy the free fields that we've got. We have had to work mega hard. It has not been easy. Admittedly, I bought a tractor and put us in big debt when I probably could have just got away with leasing a tractor, but I really wanted the fast track. I couldn't afford the bigger one, so we ended up with the medium tractor. But having said that, I'm more than happy with it. It's certainly the better of the two tractors that I've got. The other one is a pokey little thing. It seems to have the ability to pull just about everything that we use within the game. So I should go and check on the mowers again, really. I think I'll spin it around, get it lined up, and then may even just send a helper on his way for a short time, just while I go and see whether the mowers are ready to be switched to their next fields, because by now they should be. I haven't been watching the top corner to see whether any messages have come through, so we'll just slot it around, roughly line it up, and send the worker on his way. And let's see where we go. Well, he's finally just finishing, and he's been finished ages. Guess which one had the bigger field? So, or has he finished? Because it's not letting me. Well, yeah, I think he has. I mean, I'm not too worried about any of the little bits of the headland that they've missed. There's so much here. So if you go to 87, and the other guy has finished. Now he has missed quite a lot, so what I'll do is quickly unfold him, lower him down, and switch him on. That switch on did not work. There we go, it's worked now. So it's just the corners. Because we've got smooth corners on it, it does tend to miss a little bit. And I'm not too worried about it. We didn't really need to do this. We would have still had enough bales to complete. But I think it's only right just to get the most we can out of these fields. We probably could have done the other one as well, but I don't think that tractor setup seems to be missing as much. But like I say, I'm not too worried about it really. It's just this one has been an absolute clown from day one. So I just want to make sure that he has actually done it all. It's 2 days running. My chat has been a little bit awkward, shall we say. Right, so you can fold up now and go to field 72. Yeah, 72. And if you can't cope with this field, then I'm sacking you. So he's off on his way. The tedder is not quite done yet. So he's going the scenic route, obviously. I think what we'll do is take control, get out of this car's way. I didn't want to go in the crop, but it was too late, but never mind. I mean, I've got big plans for some of these fields when I get them. If you look at all these fields together here, you could make some humongous fields out of these. By just connecting them together, you could really make an absolute killing. So how we doing? We've only been doing an hour and a half. I'm actually quite impressed with how with the adversity we've had with our workers. I think we've actually made pretty good progress so far. I mean, look at this here. This would be a brilliant field, and it's not. I don't think it's even marked as a field. I'm just too busy looking where what could have been a field that I drove straight across an actual field. But there's I mean, this. I think this is a field that was potatoes last year. I think I harvested it. This year it's wheat. But yeah, I think that. Of course, all the cars in the world are coming now to stop me turning. I think that that field is a pretty big field as well. It was horrendous for doing a potato harvest on them. I think potato harvests are definitely meant for small fields. Right, so there we go. You're on to that. And oh, what am I doing? I don't want to set destination. I want to bring that up. Forget what you know. One headland. Up and down. Generate the course. Open and close. Start the job. And that looks pretty good. Where's he got to start from? Oh, he's going up and down first and then doing a headland last. So we'll leave him to the job. He's nearly done. He's in position. Now, see if you can redeem yourself on this one. Forget what you know before, which was pathetic anyway. One headland. Generate a course. See where it works. Actually, this course play is simple. I thought it was really complicated and was really struggling to get my head around it. But actually, once you get a handle of it, it's really quite quick just to set up the field. You know, I've seen a lot of people saving this field and that field, and even I had done it myself. But I just find it quicker now, just to set up an individual course every time. And you know, as long as your baler matches your windrow, usually there's not really any problems with the setup. I had a little bit of an issue with that first field, I have to admit, but otherwise I don't anticipate there being too much of a problem. I think that we will quite confidently get the windrow and baler working well together. I think that first field was just because I entered it from a different point and it confused it a little bit. But otherwise, yeah, I think this course play is quite easy on these fields with no collisions. It might be a little bit different on a tight English map or European map where all the fields have got hedges all the way around them or fences. That might be a little bit different. Oh, excuse me. Oh, need an energy drink, I think. It is getting rather late now. It's, what are we? 1 o'clock in the morning over here in the UK. So, you know, I'm burning the midnight oil. So while this is working away, I just might take a few seconds just to have a break. I'll be back in 2 seconds. So far so good with this worker. It's probably when I'm not looking he'll mess up. Hey up, what's going on here? In fairness, this one's had a harder job. It's had to deal with a lot of trees, which hasn't hit yet, going on the up and down. But we'll see if it manages the final stages or not. And we can probably... Let's have a look. Oh, he's decided not to do that last strip. Don't worry, I'll do it. Idiot. So, lower down. Turn it on. Even though we're facing the wrong way. Swing it around. It's one thing with these fast tracks, they can turn on a 50p piece. Try and... Oh, we're not very well lined up. So we'll just put it over that way a touch. Straighten up. Come on, you can do it. Yes. Somehow we managed to do that perfectly. I think it was more by luck than judgment. But that is the biggest field of all of the ones that we've got to do. And that is that one tethered. So 51's a reasonable size. 101's a reasonable size, and the other two are tiny. The other three. With this tether, they would basically be done in a couple of runs, I think, because they're all like very narrow. But I think I will try and keep my farm to the southern end. You know, there are some good fields further afield, I was going to say. And I think I would like to do those buy those fields, but I think I'm thinking that it'd make more sense just to keep it very localised and just try to dominate that particular southern end of the map. Right, I've just driven all the way over here from a windrow and then remembered it's nowhere near here, so we're gonna go and look for it. It's over here by the shop. I know where it is, don't worry. Let's bring it into first person view. So we want the end of this field. Hang a right at full speed. There it is ahead. That car's obviously going to stop and watch what I'm doing. Creepy. What are you doing? Oh. Yes, he's holding up the traffic just so that he can watch my superb driving. It was a bit shaky, but it was done at a reasonable speed. Careful I don't tip the windrow going too fast. Yeah, it's a great thing about this game is that you can, and I'm sure this is what farmers do in general anyway, is that they can dream away the hours whilst they're just sat behind the wheel, thinking of things that they can improve on their farm. I mean, I'm not a real farmer, so I can't say for definite that, but you know, it must be really fascinating job to do. I can imagine it being quite lonely sometimes, but yeah, I think I would have liked to have had the opportunity of doing that. So we've got the headlands, yeah. Generate. Uh, Start the job. And then check I've got it on first waypoint, that's good. So let's just make sure that he's happy with what he's doing. And I think very soon we're going to gain 2 more tractors, so that will speed operations up immensely. So I think what we'll have to do is put the idiot on the baler, unfortunately. Unless we swap him over. But, I mean, his tractor will definitely handle the baler. And then my smaller tractor will go on the windrower. Which, whilst it's very big, the windrower, I don't think it's particularly heavy. So, I've just worked out what the problem was. That's set a working width of 14.8. So we need to remember that for when we set the baler up. 14.8. Because I thought it was 15 meters. That will be why I had to finish off quite a bit on that first field that we did. See, it's all making sense now. The trouble is, it's just so late that I've not got the mental capacity to deal with the problems. So let's see. You've done already. Well done, young man. So this is actually our mower, so we must remember where we leave it. So what did it drop then? The front. So drop the back there. So we must remember. Oh, I've just realised we're right at the far end of the map. I'll tell you what. I'll reset that. I think that's the easiest way to do it. So we need to get you back to the baler. In fact, can I get you driving that way? I know it'll take you longer than me doing it, but the other one is the one that's needed for the windrow, is it? No, for the tedder. So where was it? 47, wasn't it? So yeah, if you drive to 45, which I believe is in the rough vicinity of where the other one is, and you've not done a very good job on there. I thought the other one was the idiot. Are you stuck on a tree or something? I think that's what the problem is, isn't it? So control and V. Are you working? I think it's just a headland. That is it's not. It's not mowing. What's going on? Oh, it might have just been a bump. Let's raise it up. So it's just a headland that's got to do. So we can do that. We're not worried. I don't know if that middle. Oh, it must be. Must just be an uneven area, and it's not on the turn. It's not catching it all. So Now we can probably go into first person and just scoot down this field. As long as we're roughly in the middle, we'll get most of it. We've got the lines from the course plate to guide us. Keep right in the middle of that and I'm sure we'll be fine. So whack it round. Try and get ourselves in the right place to whack it round. And I don't think we need to be as far over. Probably cutting the grass on the side, which is no use because it won't let us mow that area anyway. Well, it'll let us mow it actually, but it won't let us collect it. Whoa. Right. So I don't know why that stopped when it got to here. There's no tree there. This is the one that used to have a tree. Maybe it remembered the tree, and that was the problem with it. But I think this is our mower, isn't it? So if we just send him to field 47. Oh, yeah, you can go there for now. The other tractor's just getting there. The tedder can then move on to field 51. And then we can get that one on the baling of this one. Which once these two headways are done, I'd be tempted to send the baler on his way anyway. So it's saying he's blocked, but he might not be. He might just be imagining it, yes. He is. So let's go and connect you up to the baler. Which is just on the other side of this field. We'll do the right thing and go around the field. It's a bit frustrating that this one got here first, but it's better equipped to handle this baler. $14.8. That's what we've got to set it for. So, let's take him onto the field so that there's no confusing him. But we need him to start. Well, actually, we'll start him in going around the edge, and then we'll start collecting the bales, and that'll solve any issues. Why are you coming down there? The reason I stopped there was because you should have been finished with it, you muppet. Unbelievable. What are you doing? Right, so I need to set him on his way. Now that that one's finished with the headland. 14.8. We want two headlands. After we've gone a million miles. Oh, getting finger ache. Pressing the button all this time. Why can't you just type it in? I probably could have just copied and pasted it, but never mind. We've done it now. Generate. Back. Escape. Escape. we'll see how it goes. We wish you luck. So he's bang in line with that. Anyway, that's an important thing. So let's get that lorry. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Stop. What are you doing? That is a collision that for some reason the AI never picks up. Every time that I've sent vehicles this way, they've managed to get tangled up with the car and the van. It's like they don't recognise that they're there. So, set destination. So I think it'll be alright from there on. And this is where we want to be. Just enable the... Oh, I've forgotten what button we press. Is that, yep, that should have done it. We can get rid of the causeway. And we can get rid of that for now. I don't think anything's coming, but if it is, it's going to have to stop. So there shouldn't be too many bales on here, so it should take about 2 seconds. Definitely none towards this end. So it's a long sweep round. Pick up the fourth and final one from here. And that is the first of the fields done. And now what we need to do is follow that baler round. Get the tedder working in a different area. He's still not reached yet, but we need to get these bales off as quickly as possible, because otherwise they'll be stopping the tractors. So you can see where he started from now. See what I mean about the bales not being very accurate? So there's the first bale dropped. It should become reasonably regular after this. Oh, I didn't see that one there then. Tell you what, it's missing a lot. I think the windrow's too good for the baler. I'd be tempted to try and offset it by just a couple of points, and that might get it go around a second time and pick them up. It's definitely not really working. I could end up doing a baling myself again anyway. Are we... Oh, look at that. All this field and you had to collide there. Unbelievable. Absolutely ridiculous. So we need to bring up the blooming menu again now because of that. Nearest waypoint. That's that done. Everything's going too well. That was just a little bit of amusement at the end of it. So the tether dude, where are you? What is the issue here? I don't think that's going to move out your way, mate. What is wrong? Everybody's stopping to have a go at you as well because you're an idiot. Give me the controls, you clown. I'd have to do everything myself. So I've deliberately come off the road because we cause a traffic jam. Just trying to work out where we need to go. I think I can see the field in the distance. I can see a field anyway. Whether it's the right field, I'm not sure. No, it's not. I think it's the one before it, so... So we're at 2 hours already. So, what I think I'll do is... I think I'll finish these off stream. Simply because of the time of day it is, how tired I am. And I've got a lot of editing to do with regards to the Attingham Park. So I think what I'll do is I'll bring the stream to a close there. But what you're going to find me doing off stream is obviously sorting out the issue with the baler where it's not picking up the rows fully. So I'll probably end up just quickly running over the fields again. Maybe even bring my own baler into it when we've got a spare tractor. Just to mop up the excess after the main baler has gone by. But that'll be when the tedder's done every field. The tedder can go and get the other baler and carry on. But I'm going to leave it there, I think. So what I will do is just bring myself into view, turn and face the crowd, and say thank you so much for your involvement today. Thank you for watching the stream. For those of you who watch it afterwards, please give us a thumbs up. Comment on it. I'd love to hear from you, and subscribe so you can hear when I do come live. It'd be really fantastic to get the word out about this new channel. And yeah, I'll keep on bailing. And next time we come back, you'll be seeing a little bit more money in the account, which is probably what we need. I think the wages are beginning to drown out our 30 odd thousand that we had at the start. Yeah, so yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'm Stevie C. I'll see you again soon. Bye.